Right now streaming.
We're going to
It's
start
going
this.
on right now streaming. It's going right now streaming on. Do. Oh, that's too hot. Too hot. Oh, it's too hot. Too hot, lady. Gotta run for. There we go. Okay, I think I'm no longer peaking every time I say something nice and loud, so now I can go over here and change the buttons around so that I can say, hi, good morning, happy Monday. Welcome to another taping of Podcast Pontifications. I am Evo Terra. Thank you very much for joining me this morning. If you have been doing this for a while, you know the drill, but let me talk for a moment to the brand new people who might have said, hey, Evo, what's this thing I've clicked on LinkedIn and or on Twitter or on YouTube's or on, what's the other one I missed? Twitter? Did I say that? Doesn't matter. What this is the live taping of my podcast Pontifications. It is not the actual podcast itself, so all this stuff you're hearing right now, this is the warm-up act. And today's warm-up act is me. Like it is every day. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to turn on the Restream chat. So let me turn on the Restream chat so I can see people who are saying things to me. Okay, that is open. So if you said hi to me a second ago and I didn't see it, say hi again. Like right now, Arlen just said good morning. Good morning, Arlen. Nice to see you. Arlen's watching me do this on the Facebook. I see Arlen's changed. He used to watch me do this on LinkedIn, which I still do it on LinkedIn too, but he has modified. So anyhow, I like to say good morning to the peeps who tell me good morning as they are watching, as is happening right now. You know what I also didn't do? I didn't adjust my webcam settings, so I need to do that so I can do a little bit of zoom up. So give me a second. Give me a second to change the zoom so it looks a little better when the final product is done on the video, because I do a video. It gets posted. There we go. Yeah, that's looking better. I'm happy with that. Good morning, Kevin. Thanks for being here, sir. Lovely to see you. Right, so today's conversation will be around shortcuts in podcasting that aren't dead ends. Lots of people want a shortcut in podcasting, and I have, as you will be amazed to learn, some opinions about that. One thing I'm also going to do, remove the glasses because I see that glare coming through when I look over on the side at my face, and I don't want that glare coming all the way through. Now, that's all removed and done. A couple of fun things. I'm doing a couple of modifications to the format of the show today that you watching live will get to hear my process as I go through. We'll see how that translates into the final product. Yeah. But I'm trying new things. You know me, I always like to try new things. So we'll see how it goes. Right, so for the brand new people who are still wondering, when's the podcast going to start? In about another minute or so. I will also say this. You can go to podcastpontifications.com. That is where the final resting place, home of the episode shall be when it is published in about 3 hours. A little less than 3 hours right now. It goes live at 10 o'clock. You'll get the fully edited audio episode. You will also get an article, which I painstakingly take every word that tumbles forth from my mouth and restructure it into something that is pleasant to read. It doesn't make me read like a moron. I know I don't sound like a moron, but it certainly doesn't make me read like a moron. All that's available, so you can get the content however you wish to get the content right. So, am I done? Do I have all of my morning things out of the way? The throat seems okay. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I think I'm ready to start the program. So, allow me to do some switching of things. I'm going to move this over here so that I get it a little bit closer to the camera. There we go. And as you know, I like to read the cold open aloud once or twice, at least once. Here we go. Dude, you can clearly see it says for as. For as DIY friendly as podcasting is, it's still a complex web of creation, distribution, and promotion. So it's no wonder many are looking for shortcuts through the complexity. Only, do they work? People are talking to me on my Discord channel, and I'm putting my phone down. You know, I'm in the middle of recording, people. I got to find a way to get the audio, to get this audio streaming into Discord as I do this. If no, you know how to help me do that? Help me do that, would you? Okay, all right. That's not the real program. That was just me kind of getting started. Back to where I was at. Let's do this for reals now, shall we? We shall. Audio recording? Video recording. Of course I would. Have another throat clear before it happens. Why not? Here we go. For as DIY friendly as podcasting is, it's still a complex web of creation, distribution, and promotion. So it's no wonder many are looking for shortcuts through the complexity. Only, do they work? Hello and welcome to another podcast Pontifications with me, Evo Terra. Generally speaking, I'm not a fan of taking shortcuts on your podcasting journey. And that's not completely true, because I like you, I don't like wasting time, for sure. And there are a lot of things in podcasting that you can spin your wheels and waste your time on. And so yes, we also have ways to avoid pitfalls along that complex journey that we have in podcasting. And these are pitfalls that trip up many other podcasters. There are certainly ways to be much more efficient in the things you do during your podcasting process. And there are a lot of old and outdated methods and thinkings and myths out there that just haven't been true in a long time, if they were ever true. But actual real shortcuts in podcasting, I'm a tad bit skeptical of that. So today I want to talk about 3, gotchas, if you will, things to watch out for before you glom onto something someone is calling a shortcut in podcasting. The first one of those is, look, you still have to know what it is you're doing, or at least why you are doing it. You can't use a shortcut to completely bypass a key piece of podcasting. Think for a minute about RSS feeds, which I talk about a fair amount here on the program. That technically weird-looking batch of text that many podcasters look at and go, right? So because of that, the majority of podcasters leave the RSS feed, rightly so, by the way, to our hosting providers. That's one of the jobs. We pay our monthly fee to a podcast hosting company so that they generate an RSS feed for us. We don't really want to hand code our own, right? So now, assuming that your reputable podcast hosting company is doing what they're supposed to be doing, you don't even know how to read an RSS feed, probably. Many people don't, and that's okay. But you should know what the feed does, and generally speaking, what is in the feed. Because if you don't even know, I know there's an RSS feed, but a lot of podcasters are in there not knowing what's going on with anything to do with a podcast RSS feed. So again, you can't bypass it completely. You have to know at least what the thing is, what the process is looking like. All right? Second thing, there's the idea that something is better than nothing. Well, are you sure that's true? Because if you're going to take this shortcut and it promises you to do something that is better than nothing, how do you know that better than nothing is actually true? An example, automatic posting, or the integration to automatically post to various social media channels when your podcast is published. That's a common thing. Sometimes the hosting providers do that. Sometimes we do that through Buffer or other sorts of tools like Zapier. That sounds like it's better than nothing. Because the other thing you need to do, and we all know that it is much, much better to craft a custom post for each destination, each thing going to its own place. Look, things shared on Twitter don't look great when they're shared on Instagram, and vice versa. You know it's best to create something by hand for each one of those platforms, but do you have the time? I don't know. By the way, there's a great thread that Ariel Nissenblatt from Earbuds Podcast Collective wrote on the process she goes through on posting content to channels. That's the right way to do things, but man, that's really hard, so let's just auto-post, you say. Okay, but are you sure that auto-posting is working? Is it doing anything for you other than letting you check a box? Because that's not working. Is there a way also for you to do something in between auto-posting the same thing to 7 different destinations and the fully custom version? There probably is, I would say. Third thing to consider. If it's too good to be true, if it seems too good to be true, guess what? It probably is. The internet is full of people selling things with questionable, if not downright fraudulent, results. Now, this shouldn't be shocking to you, right? Just like that $10 Sonic mosquito repellent doesn't actually work to keep the bugs away when it's on your patio. The secret to unlocking podcast riches that you paid $10 for probably isn't going to be the windfall that you had hoped. I know you want this to be true. I know you want that to be a wise investment that you made. You're still tempted to do that. And you know what? For $10, okay, honestly, there very well might be some tricks and tips you could pick up from something like that. Some sort of value you might get. Or you just may have spent $10 to learn a very important lesson in life. Now, I'm going to admit that, you know what? I'm willing to be wrong about some shortcuts. I know I've painted a very wide brush here. I'm also willing to learn. So if there are shortcuts, truly shortcuts, that you have learned or you have paid for, that other working podcasters might benefit from, please share them with me. Email evo@simpler.media or drop them in the Advancing Podcasting community, which you can find at advancingpodcasting.xyz. Now, a quick update on my quest to find a new podcast listening app, which I mentioned on Thursday's show of last week. That search over the weekend didn't go very well. No, not well at all. However, what it did spur me to do instead was to write a manifesto of sorts that I'm going to be sharing very soon, maybe today. I tried to do it over the weekend, but I instead decided to weekend, which is a good thing to do. That's going to detail out what I think these podcast apps are missing, in my very, very humble opinion, and put forth to the world. So we'll see what happens. And speaking of podcast listening apps, I see that some of you are using the new value for value enabled listening apps to send me boosts. Boostograms. Dave Jones from the Podcast Index used PodFriend to boost me a couple thousand sats. Sats, S-A-T, sats, with the following message: podcasting apps are like a box of chocolates. You can't eat just one. Wait, that's Lay's potato chips, but, well, that's whatever the thing Forrest Gump said. Haha, funny, Dave. Thank you very much for that. And also, Mr. James Cridland from Pod News, he used Fountain to send a couple thousand sats with a simple greetings message. So, greetings back to you, Sir James. Thanks, both of you, for your support. If you get value from Podcast Pontifications and your podcast listening app lets you send boosts, then boost away. And if it's not, but you still wish to return some value to me, please visit buymeacoffee.com/evoterra and sign up for a recurring virtual coffee donation. That's it. I shall be back tomorrow with yet another Podcast Pontifications. Cheers. Video recording has stopped. Audio recording has stopped. Streaming continues. Go back and check on the things. Okay, well, thank you all very much for your attention. Tanner, thanks for showing up in the chat room over there. And here we go. Another week underway. If you just now are tuning into the program, you missed it. And while you could back up 14 minutes and 12 seconds and watch it from the beginning, a better idea might be just simply to wait. Yeah, if you wait for, checks the clock, 2 hours and 47 minutes, I will have an edited version of the audio, as well as a completely rewritten article of all the words that just tumbled out of my mouth. All that's going to be available at podcastpontifications.com. And if you go there to podcastpontifications.com and you click the big subscribe button, it's not subscribing to a podcast. You're subscribing to Podcast Pontifications in your inbox, which is an email service I provide for free that at 10 o'clock will send you the actual link to the MP3 file and give you right there in your inbox so you can read it in its entirety, that article that I painstakingly rewrite one word at a time. You can consume it all right there Also very easy to forward off to your friends if you wish to do that, which is always nice as well. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit more time to do the production today because I'm going to do a little bit of post-production. Normally I do very little on the post-production side of things because it's me just talking, but that new Boostergram corner, thanks Matt from Castos for isolating a very cool little track, so I'm going to be dropping that in as well, and some other things too. At least that's the plan for now. Slowly, incremental changes. That's what we do around here. Thanks once again for your attention and for watching. Have a lovely rest of your day. See you tomorrow. Bye. I said bye. Dang it. Bye.